Welcome to the Harjit and Prayer Show with your host, Harjit and Prayer.
Happy New Year, Harjit. How's it going, man?
Happy New Year, Prayer. It's good.
That's cool. We haven't done
Welcome
this
to.
in a while. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. Welcome to 2017.
Happy 2017. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
here.
So let's wish our viewers a great year and lots of blessings, happiness, wealth, love, and whatever.
No
You know,
servers crashing.
no service crashing, great IT,
Migrations going smoothly. No horrible patch Tuesdays.
no horrible past Tuesdays, no ransomwares.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. you know.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish you all the best. And so here we are in 2017. So I had a good break. How about you? I
Oh,
had a
it was great.
Yeah, I had a couple days off, not as much as you,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
Yeah, I had quite a few days off from work, but that didn't stop me from actually doing what I always do, which is my social media engagements. I still kept that going. In fact, I had a friend actually who nudged me and said, "You need to stop. You need to take a break. It's Christmas."
That's awesome.
So I was like, yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
So and then we went up to Canada to Quebec for our annual. Um, Extended family get together and stuff like that. So that's fun. You get your relatives and stuff from all over the place, and
Cool.
lots of drinking, lots of eating.
Great.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I had a few days off, and we didn't go anywhere. We just stayed at home
yeah.
because the twins are almost a year old.
Oh,
Actually, they're a year old today. Um, so we just were keeping it very low key, and it was a lot
yeah,
of fun just hanging out with us as a family. And
yeah.
I didn't check any email. I did get onto Twitter and Slack. That's about it.
Well, you did keep in touch with me though, so that's good.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you
And
know what? Your twins, they were born on a great day because it's my dad's birthday today.
no way, the sixth. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, and he would have been 87 today. So,
Oh man, that's so
uh,
wild.
yeah.
Very cool.
While growing up, my birthday's on the third and his is on the sixth, so we would celebrate together. So we did that, for a long time, and we'll celebrate, usually on the sixth. I will have a cake, that will have like a 3 and a 6 or something like that, and we'll blow it out together, kind of a thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's a good day.
That's awesome. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. Well, I mean, congratulations are in order for you because you got the most Vindaloo person award.
I like that. Hey man, that's awesome. Thank you.
No, but
Yeah,
really the most valued professional for Microsoft. That's a significant achievement. So
phew.
congratulations to you.
It's a great feeling. It's such an honor to really get it. I'm still actually pinching myself every day since the first. I mean,
That's
I got the
awesome.
announcement on the first, which was a great New Year's. Started my New Year, just perfect. And then it's was an early birthday present, and you whatever you want to call it, and I I I just can't believe it. I got it. So
Well, you deserve it. So I'm very
thank
happy for you.
thank
It's
you.
then that's not something that you just get by being an IT pro. You actually have to do work and kind of, you have to stand up for it, like have a track record and prove this is the things that you do and
Right.
stuff like the and your peers have to agree with it and nominate you and stuff like that. So,
Right.
that's a serious deal.
Yeah, it's very much peer driven, obviously. Your peers have to nominate you and vouch for you that you are who you are valuable, you deserve it, kind of a thing, and that still doesn't mean that you get it,
Hmm.
and you still have to prove your stats and you know your engagements and your speaking engagements and things like that, and
Right.
your blogs and all that fun stuff. So with that said, I really have to take this opportunity to thank the.
You're welcome.
Actually, thank you for nominating me.
No worries.
But no, I want to take the time to thank the MVP awards committee or team, whoever's behind it, for actually, taking the time to recognize my efforts and with the award. Um, my 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 lead, my MVP lead for the Northeast, Betsy Weaver,
Hmm.
who has been a tremendous help and support, and obviously values me as well. So I gotta recognize her. And a lot of crew members and other IT pros from Tech Connect and elsewhere who have gone to bat with the numerous nominations and even actually going to the MVP booth during Ignite and putting a case forward to Betsy and to somebody else, and saying, hey, you gotta look at this guy here. So
Right. That's cool.
thanks everyone. It's
Yep.
great. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do everything that I have been doing and probably even better and more. And I hope to do more speaking engagements because that's something I really enjoy. And just rock it, man.
Yeah. You're gonna keep using Power Word for your speaking engagements.
Yes,
Yep.
Power. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I think
You
that's what
got
got.
it.
I think that's what got you the award. Personally, that's
Power.
my opinion. But I mean, who would have thought of using Power Word for a presentation?
I
Anyway,
know.
so and we have
Anyways.
some friends that also got MVP as
Yes,
well. So
that's exciting.
mhm.
So we got Heather
From the
um,
crew.
from the crew, and she was also. Well, what's exciting about her? She was also with me as the first on the roundtable team for TechEd and then Ignite,
Oh,
and
cool.
and now we got the award together as well. So it's really fun, and then I was really excited to hear that our friend from Sweden, Frederick,
Oh, the Viking.
got
Nice.
yeah the
That's
Viking.
cool.
So that's exciting. That's great. I don't know if you remember that. I think 2 years ago, Frederick and myself got the award from the crew meet
Hmm.
and greet as the what was that, the social media guy, so right,
Most valuable crew, I think.
something like that. So
Yeah.
we both, yeah. So it's really nice to see that we are growing together and we have the same mission and same excitement and stuff like that. So that's
Sweet,
cool.
man. Very cool.
One other guy I really have to recognize is my friend Mick Pletcher, and he's done some tremendous work with some scripting with PowerShell that integrates with SCCM and stuff like that. This guy's a genius.
Cool.
So hey, he got MVP as well for the first time. So
Cool.
yeah,
Well, congratulations again, and to all the other folks that got it. Your work is valuable. I mean,
yeah,
I personally, now that I know, after a few years ago, I learned what MVP meant, and when I read a blog and it's signed by someone that has that acronym at the end, I'm like, okay, this person actually knows what they're talking about. They're not just running setup.exe and seeing what happens and then blogging about it. They
yeah,
actually know. So that's a cool thing.
yeah. Congratulations to everybody who got it and renewed. So
Sweet.
yeah.
So what else?
So what else we got? So hey, starting next week, we're gonna start with a guest speaker.
Hmm.
I think we got to talk about what our goals are, I guess, for our show for the year. And
Yeah,
um,
so we're gonna try to have more guest speakers that are good in the field that they're in IT
mhm.
specifically. And I'm thinking out loud, like we could even have people that don't do IT, like cooks and
Hey,
stuff,
yeah, sure.
or maybe not. But we're gonna have more guest speakers because we are not experts at everything IT. We are good at the stuff that we do. You mentioned that you're going to try to do more speaking engagements, and so one thing that Harjit and I have been talking about, one of our dreams is if we can somehow create a um, face-to-face user community.
Hmm.
Um, we have no idea what it would look like. We think it would be local to the Northeast because that's where we are. But
Yeah.
meeting up once or twice a year in a very informal way where we can have vendors talk about their products. Like a lot of user
Hmm.
groups, I'm close to New York City, and I attend user groups that are hosted in the city because there's tons of IT pros there, right? And every single one is very focused on a single product. So there's a great user group on Exchange that's like really amazing.
Hmm.
Um, there are Cisco user groups, there are wireless Linux user groups, but there aren't any user groups that are like that will encompass all layers of the OSI protocol. So, if you're going to go in to talk about software, it's going to be about a specific piece of software. They
Mm.
won't ever mention something about networking switches and stuff like that. So our idea is that we would have some kind of gathering where we would have vendors talk about what their product is and bring it in, storage, bring in networking, bring in the hypervisor vendors, and things like that, the application
Yeah.
stuff, and then just kind of see what it goes. So it's just we're just kind of thinking about it, brainstorming, asking people what they think, try to
And
make it.
if people can help us with that to achieve that, and and guide us to how to get that off the ground, that will
Yep.
be greatly appreciated. We're also looking for sponsors.
Our current budget is $35 for the year, and that was spent on lighting, as you can see.
Yeah, beautiful lighting.
So, yeah, I mean, we are not making any money off this. We're doing this to, for fun and to help y'all. But, the user group, again, we would want to make that free to the person going, because who wants to pay to hear a vendor talk about stuff they want to sell to you?
Yeah.
So, if we can get some traction around that, maybe somehow get 100, 200 people to be able to do something like this, it might be fun.
Yeah.
So, and get to meet some peers that are in the Northeast and see what they're doing and stuff like that. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
but
And and if anybody wants to, if there's some little workshops or conferences and things like that, that people want to invite us to attend and stuff like that, and feel free to reach out to us, and we can see what we can do.
yep,
Right.
that would be cool.
And also, lastly, we're looking for guest speakers throughout the year.
Hmm.
So if you have something valuable in the IT Pro arena,
And you're not
you wanna,
stupid. Like, so what I mean by that is you're not an IT pro because you run setup.exe and you set up a server, or you booted off a CD and installed Linux. You're an IT pro because you are actually seasoned in the field. I've come across a lot of people who think they're IT pros,
yeah,
and well, that should be a blog post. You are
yeah,
not an IT pro if.
right, right. Well, we want people who can talk about security, about vulnerabilities, about
Definitely.
Cisco, about Microsoft products, and SharePoint, Exchange, things like that.
Hmm.
Anything goes, really.
Yep.
But as long as you know what you're talking about, and you can talk intelligently and provide some value to our community, that's what we're looking for.
Absolutely. And as an IT pro, it's hard to field where we should be focusing our energy and our skill set. So, when cloud first started making its appearance, everybody was like, yeah, okay,
Ooh, that's scary.
whatever. But now it's just like kind of part of life. And, some of the whispers that we're hearing now is, of course, hyperconvergence. And
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
okay, is that going to be a thing, or is it going to be a real? And, it's too early to say at the moment.
Mm.
And so much about security at the moment. It's
Yeah.
crazy, like the amount of subject matter out there.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't know whether you follow the Lunch on Tuesdays with Brad Anderson.
Nope.
It's really fun. Brad Anderson from Microsoft,
Hmm.
and he has his nice fancy car, and he gets someone from either Microsoft or one of the big companies, and takes them out for a drive during the lunch hour. A lunch hour with Brad
Really?
Anderson. Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's really fun.
Okay.
So they banter back and forth about stuff and whatever. And this last one I just watched was with Mark Rusinovich, and how what got him excited, and how getting his hands on his friend's Apple II back in during his childhood days, really said, hey, this is what I want to do.
Cool.
That's I know where my career is going to go and stuff like that. But what they talked about was about cloud, because that reminded me where you know 2 years ago, cloud was like, whoa, cloud, whoa, oh my god, hold on. Now it's like a normal thing,
Yeah. I mean, who
and
who would have thought five
yeah,
years ago we would have SQL databases in the cloud?
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
mean, you would. people have been like, oh, that's crazy. That can't be secured. And
Yeah.
now it's kind of like the norm,
And,
and
and and Brad was mentioning that, when you have the finance industry has embraced cloud and has moved over, that just like set the precedence for the entire, you know, for everybody. Especially when, finance industry and stuff like that who have to be like huge with security and
yep,
data and all that stuff. And if it's not a concern for them, then it shouldn't be a big concern for anybody else, kind of a thing.
absolutely, definitely.
Right. So that's why I was trying to lead into that. So if you get a chance, watch that
Yeah,
little video.
I like to watch Tuesdays with Corey. Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen one or two of those. Yeah,
Those are number one. They're hilarious,
yeah.
and they go into things about Azure, which I just had no idea were possible.
Oh yeah, they did.
So it's been, it's things that I shouldn't say never, but things that I don't work with and
Yeah,
probably won't for a while. So it's really neat to see their product team working on it and then how it apply. So that's one show that I
sure,
really like anyway. So,
sure. Yeah.
but cool.
So that's that. So hey, we always talk about food and drinks and stuff like that. So anything from Christmas or the holidays that you
Yeah. So, every year I start out joking to myself, like, this year it's going to be the year that I just like, eat super healthy through the whole year. But the the problem is that I still have so much junk food left over from the holidays that it's like at
oh
least for a
yeah.
month I'm going to be eating junk food, and so all right, forget about it. But that leads into, in my family tradition, we have tons of different kinds of Indian sweets. And so Jalebi, which is I don't even know.
It's like yeah, it's all sugar really,
It's just
and it's
fried
fried.
sugar,
Yeah,
and it's chewy, and it's orange and yellow.
yeah.
And
Ladoo.
it's transparent. And
Yeah.
so that's one thing. It's called Jalebi. So if you see this like very really fat spaghetti looking thing that's orange in an Indian store, it's this sweet. Another thing that's very popular is we called it Ladoo growing up, but a lot of other people call it Ladoo.
Ladoo. Yeah,
And so it's that round
yeah.
ball. Basically, it's
Round ball. Yeah.
fried flour and more sugar. Um,
And that's actually hand pressed.
yes,
So it's all like little, not to say lentils, but it almost looks like that has been, cooked and fried and coated in sugar, and then you take a little ball like you're making meatballs,
yes.
and then you make them into round hard thing, and then they sit and dry for whatever a
Oh
day or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
So my parents made it out of cream of wheat, and so
Oh,
it didn't have that lentil look to it. It was just this very smooth ball, and everybody's like, "We want your recipe for laddu."
yeah, that's different. Yeah,
It was so good.
yeah.
And then there's all sorts of different things, but just like loaded with sugar. In fact, one day last week, I am like, it was like 8:30 at night. I'm like, man, something just doesn't feel right. Then I realized like I'd been eating these sweets all day long, and so I was just like jacked up on sugar and carbs. And so I went back to my very balanced, all right, you got to have this much protein and this much carbs. And I wasn't
Right.
drinking water. It was bad. I was just like, what is wrong with me? Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
super. But yeah, any Indian store, the popular company around here, they're based out of New Jersey. They're called Shaheen Sweets.
Oh,
You see boxes made by them everywhere, and
right,
they're very fresh, and they'll have like different assortments of mixed sweets in there and stuff like that.
right.
Um, did you ever have Panda? We called it Panda. So it's round.
Okay.
Usually have like an almond in the middle of it, and then it's pushed flat.
Oh yeah.
So
I know what you're talking about.
that's another
Yeah.
one. So yeah, my wife doesn't like Indian sweets too much because it's just too sweet.
It's just sugar, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Look at me. So,
Yeah. But
but
yeah, and then my daughters. I had my daughter from Sabrina from Montreal, and she was down for a couple of weeks, and So I love her cooking and I love her baking. So I always like, hey, you're gonna, we got all these old bananas in the freezer. Could you make me my banana bread?
Oh, I love banana bread.
Oh yeah, so she made the banana bread, and my other daughter made molasses cookies, and
Never had that.
uh, oh yeah, yeah, they're soft and chewy, and he make them with molasses,
Yummy.
and then yeah, and then they made some like those Hershey Kiss cookies and things like that, and a lot of little goodies like that,
Gotcha.
and then we went, like I said, we went to Quebec, and oh my God, everybody brought so much. One of the specialties, one of my younger sister-in-laws, her specialty is to make these peanut butter balls, right? They're little round balls. It's actually like peanut butter mixed with nuts and things like that, and then you almost make it like a ladoo,
Okay.
and then you dip it into chocolate, and then you let it dry. And oh yeah, yeah. So when you bite into it, you're biting into chocolate and then peanut butter, and
Dude.
it's I gotta get you some.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
What?
she made about 400 something of these. Like, holy cow! Like, oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. It's I have a hard time during these holiday seasons because of all the
Yeah.
sweets and we were not able to hook up with my parents this year, but they always, of course, you know, all sorts of Indian food like biryani and samosa and Indian flatbread rotli made from scratch and
Oh
all
yeah,
this stuff. And it's,
yeah.
we missed it this year, but
That's just the food, and then we're not even talking about alcohol yet. The whiskeys and the gins and
yep.
the Moscow mules. Oh my God! Now it's
That's
back to
funny.
get back on track now. You know?
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
we my wife really likes amaretto sours, and I, of course, I love old fashioned. But for some reason, I was like, you know what? I think I just want a rum and coke.
Oh,
This,
yeah.
and so I was like, so I just had some rum and cokes and stuff like that. So we didn't go too crazy because it was just us, and so we were pretty responsible and stuff. But yeah, it's always I am like so amazed, and I don't know if it's because of the internet now, but just the vast number of like whiskeys you can get.
Oh
Like
my God, it's
because I
crazy.
remember I remember like after graduating college, going to a liquor store, you would see like 10 or 15 on the shelf, and these are like good stores, not
Yeah,
just. But
Johnny Walker
now,
and yeah, and
like I
all
sent
this.
you a picture a couple weeks ago. I'm like, what in the world? Like there are so many, and they're as cheap as $15 all the way up to like 400 or 500. And of course, you're like, well, what am I supposed to get? So, and then same thing with the rum, and then of course wine is just
Oh, it's
unbelievable. I don't even
unbelievable.
know where to start with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Um, so anyway, so finally, a reminder: next week's Patch Tuesday, the first one for 2017.
yippee!
So if you guys want to keep track of issues and alerts and things like that, and don't forget to follow Tech Connect, my group,
Cool.
our group, right? So follow Tech Connect and Twitter and Facebook, and you'll be informed in advance of issues and stuff and which patches to pull and things like that. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That
Patch Tuesday, so it'll be big.
Yeah, first one of the year. Yippee! All right, man. Well,
All
happy New
right,
Year again, and again, congratulations on your well-earned
thank
and
you.
deserved MVP, and to all the other folks, Heather, Frederick, and anybody else that attained that status. Congratulations to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Yeah,
yeah, well, I'm IT Prayer. That's my handle on Twitter.
and I'm at Hoorge Hoorge on Twitter.
Cool.
And until next time, Happy New Year and cheers.
Happy New Year.